Happy 4th of July, but the kids are not all right. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where dude, this story is already bumming me out. It's just absolutely demoralizing me. Anyway, welcome back to the channel, your home for independent commentary and analysis of news, media, politics, and more. Happy 4th of July. Happy 250th to this amazing country. Today, being July 4th, being Independence Day, is in fact the anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And that what a beautiful and wonderful document it is, aged like fine wine, and how grateful I am to live in this country. But the basic series of facts I just laid out there is apparently not common knowledge. New polling shows that a concerning percentage of Americans and then a majority of Gen Z do not know what Independence Day actually is or what America 250 is actually celebrating. Yes, brace yourselves. Oh, by the way, I did see something I've never seen before in my life, and this is not related. It's only semi-related. Quick tangent. I'll flash this on screen. A gay influencer, like a ultra wokey, put out a PSA that you're saying, warning people not to quote bigoted former presidents, and he censored Independence Day with like stars as if it's like a slur word, and I've just never encountered that. Like with ultra wokies, is Independence Day now offensive? Am I supposed to do like F star URTH of J star LY? What's triggering about the phrase Independence Day? I can't keep up, babe. I can't keep up, and I don't want to. But you know what? Maybe this generation is not worth keeping up with, because here's the headline. This is new polling from Cato Institute and Morning Consult, which is a reputable poller. And it finds that nearly half of Americans and 61% of Gen Z don't know what the 250th is actually celebrating. So here, I'll put this on screen. To the best of your knowledge, which of the following describes what America's 250th anniversary commemorates? And this is, of course, a multiple choice question. And yet, nearly half of all Americans don't know the correct answer. And then 61% of Gen Z do not know the correct answer to this question. So, among all Americans, only 46% or only 53% know that we're celebrating the adoption of the Declaration of Independence. Meanwhile, among Gen Z Americans, only 39% know that. Instead, 61% believe one of the following. We're celebrating the Pilgrims' landing at Plymouth Rock, the ratification of the U.S. Constitution, victory in the Revolutionary War, the first U.S. presidential election, the founding of Jamestown, or not sure. Guys, the 250th is on the 4th of July. The 4th of July is known as Independence Day, and one of the multiple choice options is the anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Even if you didn't know this like basic civic and historical knowledge, which you should, to be clear, but if you don't, okay. Anybody with functioning critical thinking skills would still be able to get the correct answer just by looking at the question and thinking about it for even a moment. So the fact that they can't isn't a red flag. It's a bouquet of red flags. Like, how are we supposed to teach the next generation or trust the next generation to carry on, the American spirit, American excellence, and our country when they literally don't even understand what July 4th is, what Independence Day is, or what the anniversary of the country's founding is and its roots in the Declaration of Independence? I don't know, man. I try not to be a doomer. I try to be optimistic because in a lot of ways, life is getting better and people's conditions are better now than ever. But in so many other ways, it just feels like we are incredibly, incredibly cooked. Because, for example, like if they think we're celebrating the ratification of the U.S. Constitution, that tells you they've never even heard of the Articles of Confederation. They don't know anything about the drafting of our Constitution and the founding of our country. It's like, so yikes, but it actually is much worse than just that. I know y'all thought that was it, right? No, the narrator, that was not, in fact, it. We are even more cooked than y'all know. So there's a second part of this polling where they asked about other basic civics related questions. And thankfully, the results were much better. They were much more, sorry, I can't even say with a straight face. We're actually even more cooked than you already think. So they also polled and asked about Gen Z Americans, asked Gen Z Americans to answer basic civics questions. And Gen Zers fail to correctly answer 6 of 7 basic civics questions. For example, why did we declare independence? 68% of Gen Zers answered incorrectly and only 33% answered correctly. Who has the final say, the president or the Supreme Court? Only 32% answered correctly and 67% answered incorrectly. What is the main purpose of the U.S. Constitution? 64% answered incorrectly, only 36%. We already went over the America 250. Here's the one where we are actually cooked. The only one, by the way, the majority did know was who was the first president. 50% did not know the 3 branches of government, but yes, young voters will save us. Democracy is the answer. I mean, maybe in that it's the least bad compared to all the rest. Maybe that. That's about all you can say about it, because the actual representative democracy requires, one, counter-majoritarian institutions to prevent tyranny of the majority, but also an informed and educated and engaged population, which we don't have. Not even close. But here is the one that made me lose my last glimmer of hope. Here it is. From which country did we declare independence? That is the trick question of the day, folks. That 53% of Gen Z Americans answered incorrectly. Sit with that. 48% answered it correctly. I would love to know, and this wasn't in the polling, or at least not the part that I looked at. What answers did they give? If not England, what country do they think we declared independence from? France? Why do they think we speak English? What the actual Like, I feel like I'm being punked. Because again, these were multiple choice questions. And a majority failed. It's like, not to bring this up, I keep bringing this up all the time. But like, lots of people cannot read an index card with like 3-syllable words on it. I'm going to have my editor insert a clip of that, because so you know what I'm talking about.
Read the index card. Their reconciliation required extraordinary vulnerability and emotional accountability. I dropped that, but at least you tried it, man. Yeah. Read the index card.
Interpretal ambitions necessitated substantial personal sacrifices.
Read the index card.
Their reconciliation required extraordinary, arbitrary, and emotional accountability.
Read the index card.
The remarkability what kind of interview is this? The remarkable, contradictory encounter prompt.
Yeah, the interviewer is the problem. I am so glad they included one white person so I could laugh at this and not feel racist.
When she showed up, I was like, oh, thank God.
Thank God. Talk me down. Explain to me how we're not utterly cooked beyond belief as a country and as a society These people are going to be parents. They're going to be teachers. They're going to be powerful people influencing all of society in positions of authority and trust. And they don't know what country America declared independence from. Did they even know what the Revolutionary War was? They never. If I had not ever gone to school, I just watched a freaking cartoon show. Oh, I forget what it was called, like Liberty Kids or something growing up, that taught me all of this when I was 3. And I'm not, the crazy thing is, I'm literally not a particularly genius wad person. I'm not somebody who actually has a very strong memory and remembers things. I forget a lot of the things that I learn, and then they kind of come back to me, and I'm not super great with like historical facts being memorized and all this stuff. You don't have to be, babe, to know the answers to these freaking questions. And all of those questions, a majority of Gen Z, my current level of crash out would be justified if it was 25%. But a majority of Gen Z could not answer. Except for George Washington. Also, why? Why do people know him and nothing else? Maybe there's like some cultural reference I'm not aware of that's not coming to mind immediately that's like burned him into people's memories. But that's weird. I would actually judge you less for forgetting the name of George Washington than for not knowing who the we declared independence from. Significantly less, actually. Anyway, guys. Happy 4th of July. Go America 250. I mean, yes, actually, go America 250. I love America. I think we have a beautiful, amazing country with like wonderful foundational principles and vision. But it requires the people to keep it going and keep it up. And those people can't all be brain dead, or you won't have a functioning society. Like, I don't know, guys. Eat an extra hot dog, drown it out with some chips, or maybe just light the fireworks and try not to remember how cooked we might actually be. Sorry for the demoralizing video, but this is something y'all need to know about, because if we don't know about it, like burying your head in the sand and just pretending nothing, this is fine as the room is on fire, that meme. We're not going to do that, not here. So that's my take. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed if you aren't yet. Do hit the like button to reward me for suffering through this stuff, because genuinely I'm losing my mind at times on this channel. And do consider becoming a channel member to support my independent commentary. I also do videos where I react to member comments and questions. So if you have something you want to get my thoughts on, become a channel member and then drop it down below. And with that, guys, we'll leave it there for now, and we'll talk again real soon.